So, I've seen an awful lot of people commenting on whether Broly will appear in Dragon Ball Super, and I wanted to do this video to explain the likelihood of this happening. I'm not going to make this a long video, so I'll just get straight into explaining. So after being pimp-slapped to explosion, being obliterated by a family Kamehameha, and being cloned, and then being killed again, will Broly return in Dragon Ball Super? Let's take a look. It's common knowledge that the Dragon Ball Z canon is very out there and messed up, so many things make it easy to get confused. Dragon Ball Kai's reimagined opening did not help this situation. I'll explain why later and hopefully I'll help clear some of this mess up. Broly is of course a movie character seen in the 3 movies, Broly the Legendary Super Saiyan, Broly Second Coming, and Bio Broly. You'll notice that pretty much all of the movies he's in have some way of shoving his name in your face. We're of course aware that in the actual story of Dragon Ball Z, Broly is never referenced outside those 3 films. The short reason as to why this is because Broly's character isn't actually in the manga. He's not in Akira Toriyama's original story. As far as his design goes, there's a lot of confusion as to who designed him. Some people thinking that Takao Koyama had designed him. This is incorrect, as Takao Koyama did do most of the writing for the first 13 movies, but didn't have much, if any, say in the characters' designs. Toriyama himself submitted designs to Toei for Broly, as seen in Daizenshu 6, where there's a rare design for Broly with a tail, and a note beside it saying, "It's fine whether you include the tail or not." Well, that's a rough translation anyway. I'll put the picture up so you can see it. To put it simply, Toriyama did design Broly, but it's not because he wanted him as part of the original story so much as he was designed for Toei's movie. He is what he is, a movie character with no relevance to the series past the movies and video games. To reference what I said earlier, the Dragon Ball Kai reimagined series opener has confused a lot of people. The reason that is because they stuck a couple of scenes from the TV special Bardock the Father of Goku to start off the series, which was a mess. Kai has been deemed a more faithful representation of the Dragon Ball Z story, with the filler mostly removed, and for the most part that's correct. But they have gone off the tracks in some places. Since this has been stuck at the beginning, some people have confused this with being canon, and have taken that as gospel. Bardock's TV special was just that, a TV special. A very good TV special, mind you. So good in fact that Toriyama liked the Bardock character so much, he tried to implement him in his own canon version, Dragon Ball Minus, which incidentally actually creates more plot holes than it fixes. Oh, Toriyama. The reason I'm explaining this is because the Broly movie tips its hat on a few occasions to the Bardock TV special, with the footage of a baby Goku crying next to a baby Broly, scenes of which we're all familiar with. As some people have seen these scenes, they've tied them together to imagine that Broly is canon with the Bardock special, and because of that being introduced at the beginning of Kai, people think it makes Broly canon. This isn't the case, and rather it was just a nice scene to stick at the beginning of the series to give a filler-esque head nod to Bardock. But right, with that out of the way, let's get into the meat of this video. His chances of appearing in Super. Generally speaking, the chances of Broly appearing in Super are slim to none. However, as Toriyama has only sent bullet points to Toei and asked them to animate it and fill in the blanks themselves, it is actually quite possible that Toei, being the basic reason for Broly's existence in the first place, could decide to incorporate him into the story in some way. Is that likely? Probably not. Reason being, the story in Dragon Ball Super is still Toriyama's story, it's just not being completely scripted out word for word by him. He's left a little bit of wiggle room for some basic padding, etc. Toriyama never incorporated Broly into any of his own work, and it would seem incredibly random and inconsistent for him to include him all of a sudden. So aside from being completely outclassed in power, and no, I don't care what any of the video games have suggested, Broly never even appeared in GT Super 17 arc where the dead came back, where we even saw the likes of Cooler. Broly wasn't watching Goku and Kid Buu fight in the filler scene in Hell where they all gather around the crystal ball, which was even more of a scene. So even in Toei's work in Dragon Ball series, outside of the 3 movies, they neglected to include him. Fans of Broly are seemingly bigger fans of him than Toei or Toriyama are. Based on this information, I think it's a reasonable idea to suspect we won't see Broly again outside of video games, unless Toei decide to pump out a new special for Dragon Ball, which, to be honest, is more than likely. Every Dragon Ball series so far has had at least one special. But to be fair, he's had 3 movies, and they really milked the character as much as they could. They even cloned him and rebirthed his ass to bring him back, guys. There are my thoughts on the situation. I can't confirm he'll never return, but it certainly doesn't look like he would. I think the chances of him returning would depend on the success of Super and whether Toei actually decides to make another special. And if they don't, outside the video games, I think that's the last we'll see of Broly. But thanks for watching. Please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe to start training on World King Kanji's planet, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Bye!